Welcome back to Boondock Nation. It's the end of April, and this week we're taking you along on an epic adventure. It's our last ride of the season. This year, we've ridden in more new places with more new people than ever before. We set out to ride coast to coast, riding sleds in the coastal areas of Oregon and Quebec. We went to some incredible events, and we put more miles on the truck and sleds than ever before. The last ride is always emotional as we say goodbye to these incredible mountain views and the sport that brings us all together for these few months. But winter is coming to an end, the snow is melting, and it's time for our last ride of the season. This year, we're gearing up with some friends to head out into some gigantic terrain in search of some final turns, jumps, and this waterfall that will blow your mind. So come along for the ride with us today as we head out for our final ride of the season.
It's sunny and 65. Get out the sunscreen. It's a classic spring ride today. The snow is going fast. To see side-by-sides out here while we're actually trying to go up and chase the snow is pretty funny. We're going to get into it, and it's going to be super fun. We got a big crew out here today with us, and we're going to get into some cool country, get some good views, probably some fun jumps, too.
We made it to our destination. You may recognize this spot from our final rides video last year. And there was a lot more snow here. We were here just about the same week, and this whole thing was a column of ice. But we're back, and we've got an even better plan this year. We brought steaks, we brought brats. Now it's time to find some wood. There isn't much wood around here in this cave, but we're gonna go find some dead wood, start a fire, and just hang out, enjoy this beautiful view right by this waterfall. This is so sick. This is like one of my favorite spots to come ride. We only get the chance to come out here in the spring when Abbey Danger is low. Pretty cool to bring this crew in here and everybody gets a chance to experience it. We got 10 people out on the snow today and a lot of people first time here. So it's cool to see the reactions, and this just never gets old for me. We'll go find some wood. This right here is the first in Boondock Nation history. Some prime Angus beef out on the mountain, courtesy of the Swan Valley General Store. We're gonna season these puppies up. Baker brought some broths as well. We're gonna have ourselves a feast to celebrate the end of the season out here. Yes! There's a big old lip on that one. Didn't have any clean dishes in the cabinet, so we're cleaning off some steak plates here, but we cannot serve a good steak on a cold plate. So now we gotta warm them up. And then we'll cut them up with the saw, flank these babies out, have an awesome snack up here. We've been waiting for the snow to soften up because it froze pretty solid last night. So now with this sun beating down, the jumps should be primed for the ride out. So I think we're just about ready to serve up some beef.
Plate behind.
That side seared even better.
Meat.
This one needs a little work yet. Well, perfectly medium, I would say. Hey, it's great. A little tough on the end of the lip here, but that hits the spot. This is one of the best steaks I have ever had. I mean, I'm not trying to brag, but these are perfectly done. And given the environment and the atmosphere, I think this is top-notch dining. Come get some, boys.
I definitely want that piece of that.
Isn't that a perfect steak, Rock?
It is.
Yeah.
It's shaped just like the ribeye.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, that thing's on perfect.
Grab a piece.
Damn, son.
Wow.
The saw kind of shreds it if somebody's got a knife.
No, it's perfect.
Damn, my pocket ulu's down in my machine.
We gotta send this to Stephen Clark.
Yes. Lucas added the aspen in. It's got great aspen taste.
Good for you, buddy. Nice, dude. The jumps are happening. Finally, the snow warmed up enough to be able to get the track and skis off the ground. Took until about 5 p.m. for that to happen. So we took our time and enjoyed the day up until now. Time to get Sendy.
Well, that's it. What a way to wrap up our 9th season on the snow, snowmobiling in the West and recording for Boondock Nation. We had some epic adventures and some memories that will last a lifetime.
It seems like this winter has gone by just like that. It's crazy to think of all of the different things that have happened to us between December and now April. It seems like so short, but we've lived a lifetime in those few months, and it's been awesome.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that we are packing up to head to Wisconsin. We've got lots to look forward to back home this summer, but first we want to recap some of our favorite memories from the course of the season on our coast-to-coast tour as we explored a ton of new places, rode with a ton of new people, and hit the road more than ever this year.
One of my favorite rides of this season has to be our ride with Willie Elam over in Fairfield, Idaho. This is our second time ever visiting over in that area, and having Willie this time to show us the ropes really made the difference. We got into some extremely cool country stuff that we've never ridden before, and the snow was surprisingly good too. That was a super fun ride.
The central part of Idaho is so remote. A lot of people don't know this, but most of the state of Idaho is all public lands. But the center part is like mostly uninhabited and extremely cool country, but very hard to get to. So that was a cool ride. From there, we continued on to Oregon, and this is one of my favorite rides of the year. Despite the rain, I mean, I think we got like an inch of rain the day that we rode. We were able to ride over some really cool volcanoes, lava rocks, explore some caves and lava tubes that were formed. And that trip was just super memorable, not only because of the riding, but because of the people we met along the way. We were in town for the Oregon State Snowmobile Association convention, and they welcomed us with open arms, and I even got the chance to speak in front of the entire crowd at dinner on Saturday night and talk about avalanche safety, access to public lands, and some of the things that really matter most to us here at Boondock Nation. So those couple of rides, all wrapped into one road trip, made for an epic end to January.
After we got back from Oregon, we hit the road not too much longer and got down to Colorado to go ride Grand County. This was super cool. We got to ride Grand Lake, Grand Bee, and Kremling, Colorado. Kremling obviously is a super cool destination, as are all the other locations we went to there. But riding rabbit ears for the first time was great. We got to ride with AJ Weisner and some friends of ours from the Midwest, Dale Ray and Matt Britt, and get out with them, and they showed us some of the cool local areas that they've been riding down there for a little while around the legendary Rabbit Ears Pass.
Yeah, despite it being a weird winter just about everywhere, we timed the snow pretty well on these trips. Like Fairfield had good snow. Colorado had really good snow when we rolled in. One place that didn't get good snow, though, was the Midwest. And our original plan was to leave from Colorado and drive along the south route back to Wisconsin to ride the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Our plans were foiled by Mother Nature. Unfortunately, northern Wisconsin got almost no snow this winter. In fact, the trails never even opened, which is something many have never seen in their lifetime in that area. There's a ton of snowmobilers in Wisconsin and Michigan and Minnesota, and a ton of people who watch our stuff there. So I hope that we were able to scratch that itch a little bit through our content, even though we weren't able to ride back in the Midwest. That being said, we've got some big plans for next year to head back to Michigan, spend some time there, and get some good rides in. Originally, we were planning on flying out of Wisconsin to go ride out in Maine somewhere with the Backwoods BMP crew, but unfortunately Maine got very little snow this season too. So once we landed in Portland, Maine, we drove about 12 hours north to the Gaspé Peninsula to ride the Chick-Chalk Mountains overlooking the Gulf of St. Lawrence. We were welcomed by the crew at the Sled Den. Jack and Eva up there, along with Ryan and Danielle, took great care of us and the Backwoods crew. We were in another country, but it almost felt like another world with all those old wooden buildings on the coast and everybody speaking French. It felt completely foreign, and it was really cool snowmobiling and something completely new for us to check out. So that trip was definitely a highlight of the season for me.
After finally being able to check off riding on the East Coast off of our bucket lists, we ventured back out west just in time for the Jackson Hole Hillclimbs, something that we will never miss, that's for sure, haven't for the last few years, and it did not disappoint. We had a blast with all of our friends being in town and seeing some of our partners here too, getting out in the snow with them and just enjoying the festivities. After that, we headed down to Spring Fever, which is an all-new event. You guys probably saw some of the shenanigans down there at the Beater Cross race and the surprise spring snow that we got while we were there too. Beaver Creek Lodge hosted that event. Very excited for what the future holds for Spring Fever. And then after that, it was time to enjoy some of the spring riding around our local area here in eastern Idaho, and that's what we did. One ride that comes to mind that was very special this spring was a day that we got out with Jared Sessions and Tristan Ironi here for a local exploration mission. We got into some absolutely insane country, stuff that we wait like all season to be able to go for. It's like the last 2 weeks of the year provide some of the coolest exploration. So we did exactly that. It was a blast for sure. If you haven't already, check it out on our most recent episode, Unlocking a New Zone. That was an epic ride.
It really does feel like this winter, and especially this spring, has gone by so fast, and it's hard to believe that we're wrapping things up here. I mean, the sleds are all in pretty good condition. We're bringing them home and going to be cleaning them up to sell here pretty soon. And we've got our sights set on next winter already. We're making plans to make Out West Sled Fest and Spring Fever bigger and better than ever. And guess what? It's actually our 10th season being on the air. We are going to be preparing to film the 10th season of Boondock Nation TV that airs all across the Midwest and Colorado, 8 weeks of half-hour episodes of broadcast television, in addition to all the YouTube stuff that we're doing as well. We're going to be working all summer to plan out these trips, including some really big trips next year, stuff that we've never even done before that's really going to be pushing the boundaries, and we're going to be sledding the world. This summer, we're going to keep the content rolling in northern Wisconsin and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and who knows where else, on the dirt and on the water. We've got some plans to show you guys exactly what we're up to all summer long, and then we'll roll into haydays, we'll roll into sled builds, and we'll be rolling into the 10th season of Boondock Nation before we know it.
All of the days on the snow we had this year totaled up to be 56. We got out with 165 different people too, which is absolutely crazy. I can't even believe that's possible, but all of you guys coming to Spring Fever and Out West Sled Fest definitely contribute to that number. And we try to just get out with as many people as possible on all of these different locations. So we're stoked to keep adding people to our list of riders. That can be found on the new boondocknation.com website. Check it out. We have there a list of every single person that we've ridden with. So if you've gotten out on the snow with us, chances are your name is up there. That is super cool. Also to mention, the website is totally revamped. There's a lot of new stuff going on there, and we continue to build it out. So check it out, surf around a little bit, and thank you guys so much for supporting us and watching all of our videos this season. It means so much.
So that's it for our time here in the West. It's been an awesome winter here at the BN Ranch, but it's time for us to head her home. So we're packing things up, and we'll see you back in the Midwest.